and welcome to episode 23 of SOHO Insights.
Where each week we talk about the latest products, services, and trends that help your small office, home office business be more productive, efficient, and fun.
Hello, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Jen, and this month at Ovaleye our theme is Move It. If you tune...
I'm in the move it mood.
Yeah, so if you tune into our last episode, it was episode 22 on 5 small actions to get started to accomplish big goals. You kind of have a clue as to what we're talking about. It's almost halfway through the year. We've got to get moving to accomplish big goals that we've got, personally, but we're sharing it with you because we feel like a lot of our clients are in the same place that we are. Like, we just got to get moving on stuff. So anyway,
yes, I think we're doing a pretty good
Today's
job.
episode, though, I should probably mention that, is on design and development, because that is probably one of our most common heard about.
It's one of my favorites, because
roadblocks.
What we're talking about tonight, we have experienced. Plus, this is what we do for a living.
So design and development. If you've ever had an issue with it, if this is what's holding you back from launching a product or service or packaging things differently or doing anything, watch this whole episode and you will be set to go.
Yes. And the roadblocks to doing this too is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, so you've got the three most common roadblocks for that.
Which is cost, knowledge, and time. Because none of us have a lot of it. Especially when it comes to building a website or doing the design and the development. So the cost can be whatever your budget, whatever you've allowed for your budget. And if you don't have a budget yet, we're going to give you some ideas to find that.
So if you don't have any money, if you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to hire a designer or developer, we'll talk about that issue.
Been there, done that one.
Yeah, knowledge. If you don't know what PHP is, then we'll talk about that.
And then time. You never have time to do this kind of stuff, but it doesn't take that long. But you really have to focus.
You were once a mom with 2 kids and busy life, and you still found the time if you're able to do it.
Yes, so let's go.
But Sheree McConnell talks about if these are your 3 building blocks or roadblocks, for why you're not moving forward on a website or whatever it is, because a website, that makes your business legitimate. That's where people are going to go to, especially if you're a small office or home office business. You don't have a storefront to sell your goods. You're at your home working on stuff. You need to show people around the world what it is that you have to offer. And so Sheree McConnell, who is the founder of the Smart Women Institute, she argues in her book that we should leverage passion. And I hate the word leverage, and you even said, what does that mean? Everyone uses the word leverage.
But you do. You have to have that passion.
But what she's saying is that you use passion. If you lack money, if you lack time, or if you lack knowledge in order to get this design and development out there.
It motivates you. Gets you to move it.
Use your passion to either do it yourself or use your passion to find a way to hire someone. So we're going to talk about doing the design and the development yourself, and we're going to talk about hiring someone. And if you don't have any money and you don't know how that's going to be possible, Mom's going to talk about finding cash where there is none.
Yes, creative.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about 5 ways to find and hire a designer developer. So getting into it, the first way for the do-it-yourself, Mom has 2 building blocks.
Let's talk about
building platforms for websites.
The first one is Site Builder, and then the second one is WordPress.
So we're in DIY, and then we have a Site Builder video for you.
Do it yourself, and I would say one of our favorite do-it-yourselves is the Site Builder. Especially, you don't have to have any knowledge at all, because it's a template for one thing. It prompts you to go from one page to another. It has, let's see, there is so many fun things. The drag and drop, where you can put a PayPal button, which is very cool, and also the industries, and it shows you where to go to the industries. Like
if you're an event
publishing
planner,
and photography. I just went through this today with a client because she was strapped with cash. She had a short time because there was some shows she had to be at next week. She didn't have a lot of money either. This was a perfect template for her. She has it running right now, and it only took 5 minutes. She put some pictures on it, she put a PayPal button on it, and she's set to go.
Yeah, but the biggest thing here is that it's perfect for maybe you've got a static website off to the side and it's going good and you like it, but you just have this new product you need to launch. use Site Builder to do some type of subdomain off of there. And if you don't know what that means, give us a call. 877-Ovaleye will help you out with that. But use Site Builder as a sales page. It's perfect for it. It's so easy to use and so customizable. Another great way to use Site Builder is if you have the WordPress and you have just one little page that you need to get off there, our second solution for building or for development to move it on something is WordPress.
It's free too. I mean, Site Builder's free and our WordPress is free. Right. It's what you do with it might cost a little money. And even when Jen's going to talk about WordPress, if there's pieces of WordPress that you need developed or designed, it's budget friendly because you can take those pieces and get them designed or developed and
then you can add on things.
As you go.
Site Builder and WordPress are both content management systems. The difference is that Site Builder, as you saw in the video, is very user friendly. It's all drag and drop, what you see is what you get type of a stuff, whereas WordPress, while on the surface, if you're just doing posts and simple things like that, super easy.
Not a drag and drop kind of thing. If
you're using it more for a website and really for its content management system, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. You have to deal with themes. You have to know a little bit of PHP to customize it. But again, if you're starting from that place where you're able to make simple changes later on all yourself, you're saving yourself a lot of money.
Well, and on a budget too, you can do I've seen the prettiest websites and you can't tell if they're custom or not, and they've all been WordPresses. So WordPress will let you do anything.
And if you're a WordPress person, don't be afraid of Site Builder either. If you want to just do that sales page, it really is a legitimate option. Trust me.
Yeah, you can't even tell. Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, we just talked about the development side of the DIY, but now we're going to talk about design. So myself, I am not a designer. I'm absolutely awful at it. And
I think you are more than I am.
Well, I think I am a little bit more than you are because I've kind of wrangled the tools better than you have.
I haven't tried too hard.
But the tools that we use here at Ovaleye, that when we just are on a pinch or we're just doing our blog site or maybe we're trying to get something out fast, we use GIMP, picnic.com, and iStockPhoto.com. So
I use everything but GIMP, but GIMP is
you don't like it at all. But
well, it's free though.
So this is GIMP. What he just showed. This is Picnic.
I use Picnic all the time.
Yeah. So GIMP
edits well.
GIMP's a good equal to Photoshop. Photoshop is super expensive, whereas GIMP is more of an open source, everyone use as you can.
And you'll put that on Ovaleye.tv.
Yeah, I'll include links over at Ovaleye.tv for you for all three of those. GIMP is, so it's equivalent to Photoshop. It's a little bit less user friendly. So it's going to take you a little bit more time to learn how to do it, but it's free. Yeah. Picnic.com, I spent, I think, $24 a year to use it,
really?
and it's crazy, the stuff that you're able to do with it.
I do it for free, and it's I edit photos all the time there.
It's great.
And put it in my blog.
Picnic.com is another option, and then the last one is iStockPhoto, and the reason why I threw that in for design is because that has quality stock photos.
You could put it on your banners and your WordPress. You could put it in Site Builder, and it looks very professional.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely check them out.
And it's really cheap. Like $20 gives you a whole bunch.
You have to prepay. That's the only thing. But still, we're talking about $20 compared to what? Yeah. So that was a little bit of a DIY design portion. Development design on yourself is totally doable, right? You've got your Site Builder, WordPress, and then you can create it out all with GIMP, Picnic.com, and iStockPhoto.com.
People don't realize that is available so cheap, and with hardly any effort you can have a website.
Right. So the second thing that we're going to talk about is hiring someone for your design development. Now, if you're just like, Jen, this is great. I love you for being excited about doing it yourself and for giving me these options, which is so funny. A lot of our clients do say that to me. They're like, Jen, you're so cute. But seriously, it is easy.
They don't say that to me.
But because I get excited about this, and they're just like, can I just hire someone?
Well, yes, that's true. That's true, because for one thing, she talks a mile a minute, and then they go,
I get excited.
Oh, okay, now what did you just say? Yes.
So anyway, hiring, it's so funny. Last year, my mom just wrote a blog post on this, but Mom was seriously sitting at a table like this with our, the woman that did our branding, our logo, is Lee Ader of Think2A. She's fabulous. We absolutely adore her. But Mom sat at the table at her studio, literally like cleaning on to it, saying like, I cannot do this.
I can't. And what I said in my blog too is, I cannot believe how stupid I was, because if you look at our old logo,
gosh,
and then
awful.
our new one. It's like night and
So
day.
worth the
Yes.
money and the process that she took us through.
It was
But
the best process
so,
ever.
you have points for cash flow because Mom's a genius at finding money where there is supposedly no money. But
Your dad is shaking his head.
yeah,
The first thing I would say is you can always borrow money. I don't know where you want to borrow it, but you can borrow money easily for a
Family.
small. By the way, this, even if you go to somebody and have it designed, it's not an arm and a leg. It's very reasonable, I thought, for such a great brand. It brands you. And then the other one is what we did, installments. Installments are great, and it goes by fast. Plus, you don't realize that you have that money available. It's there. It's just where you want to put it at the time. So.
yeah. I mean, you're basically saying I'm really excited about this, and you're going to the designer and saying, how
Can I make this work? And they're really excited for you because you're coming to them, and that's what they do for a living. So.
Yeah. But the biggest thing is definitely we're not suggesting that you go and try and like weasel them out of what they're actually do.
No,
we're just saying
ever.
try and be creative with your cash flow, making sure that, you wait until a contract comes in or something like that to be able to pay someone, or you step up your game on what you're currently offering. We sold hosting and development packages with our website looking like crap. It was awful. So
it was one we made ourselves.
yeah, but doing this definitely, like,
well, because
we
it-
doubled
yeah.
what we were doing within the year. So Lee
The
was
branding
definitely
was
responsible for a lot of
awesome.
that.
Yes.
So anyway,
Fun
moving on,
experience.
the one thing that we want to warn you about is don't go with the cheap and fast and free.
Unless they're perfect for the design, but like we're talking.
That's the exception.
Yes.
Okay, the exception is the cheap and the fast and the free, the people that work out. Most people, what happens is they come to us and get hosting, and they're like, you know what, I just spent $5,000 and I don't have any of my files. I don't know where the designer went.
Unfortunately, that happens way too often for
Yeah.
people.
So
Be proactive in this part of signing the beginning, where you say you want all your files. You want to make sure that you both.
we're gonna talk
Okay,
about that.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
my gosh,
I love
she
this
is
stuff.
so bad
I
at
know.
this.
I love
Sometimes
all
you just
this.
need to chill out. So the 5 tips.
Hey.
There's 5 tips. We'll get into this. The 5 tips for finding and hiring
wrote all this
the right designer developer for you. Yeah, Mom's the impatient one that just wants to get going, and I'm very much the planner. So
Okay.
anyway,
All right.
finding the right designer developer for you. Tip number 1 is call out, or sorry, you were gonna
No,
read
you
these.
might say it. you talk
Just
to your
read it.
network, because we found our designer and developer through networking, through the Chamber of Commerce. A lot of people go to Biznic. We recommend Biznic for
Rather than going
professionals.
to someone that's like a Craigslist or something like that.
or in, overseas or whatever.
Yeah. So the second point is
The second one is make sure you know the research, that they've done the research behind your brand. If they're
your industry.
Yes, if you're coming to somebody, and a lot of people don't know what hosting is, so Lee did her homework, and she had who our competitors were and everything ready
Who
for
we were
us.
targeting. It
Yes.
was awesome.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the third point was to
Now you can say the third one.
was the interview. So let's say that your brother and a couple other colleagues said you need to go to these people. You've got a handful, maybe 5 or 6 people that have recommended you people. And you're going to go and interview each one of them. And the reason why we suggest that is because you want to make sure that their personality works well with yours, that you understand that they've had a portfolio that you can kind of check out, see what their work is.
We've worked with like Lee, and we found out what she really is good at, and we went with her because of that. We knew that she was a woman that liked to work with other women.
And I know
too,
we
and
talk
think
about
that
Lee a
helped.
lot, but we work with a lot of
A
designers
ton
and
of
developers
partners.
that are amazing. And so, the good people are out there. You just have to make sure you look for them and you interview them and find who just works well for you. Because those 5 people that people recommend, I'm sure are going to all be great. But you have to find, again, someone that works well with your style of whatever.
Yes.
So the fourth point is ask about payment structure, making sure that you understand that if there's a deposit, you have to pay that deposit, what the installments are past that, and also at the end, making sure you know what's happening with those files.
Those files are really important because later you might lose track of who this designer was, who was really good, but they might move on or you might move on. So make sure they give you
Photoshop
all those
files is what we're talking
yes,
about, the ones
files,
that you're able
the
to edit
logos,
later on.
everything.
Yeah.
Because you might need them later.
And if they ask for more money because of that, you have to again weigh, well, if owning these is really
Worth
important
it.
to me, that kind of a thing.
Yes. Business card stuff, yes.
Yeah, apart from that, the payment structure, the last point, our fifth point, is to remember that this is your brand. You're outsourcing the formation of the first impression that people, your potential clients, are going to look at to this outside party. So the one thing that we really want you to leave with is that in hiring this outside party, that you create some type of a prenup.
I love that.
So that there's an easy out
For
clause.
design and developing.
Yeah, if for some reason the relationship, you're just like, you know what, this is not going to work out, make sure you pay them for the work that they've done already. But make it comfortable for you and the designer to understand that, you know what, this just didn't work out. Own up to the mistake. It's not even a mistake. It's just like, you know, whitewash it and move on.
It's
yes,
all about
it's a
you.
loss, but it's a loss in the sense that you've, you know, not come away with a logo or a design or theme for your WordPress, but you've gained all of that knowledge of what it was like working with the designer. So when you go on to the next one, you'll kind of understand a little bit more. So anyway,
yes, this is one of my favorites because this is what I've always done. I mean, since we
Ovaleye started as a
yeah.
development house.
So and we grew with so many nice partners. So this was a fun episode to do. So till
Get
next time.
moving.
Yes, move it.